Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
I'd like to do a quick review of why I decided to purge Mystery Express. Mystery Express is a game at one point in time I thought was a Clue killer. I thought it was a great game to replace Clue. Well, after some thought about that, I think that I was partially correct. It is a better game than Clue in some regards. In some regards, it isn't. What was great about Clue was the fact that it was very simple for people to play. It was a deduction game that you were trying to find out who killed blah, 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 and with what and where. The problem with Clue really was the roll and move mechanic. So a lot of games have come out and try to have that deduction game of Clue, but doing so with better or more modern mechanisms. And Mystery Express definitely improves upon Clue in many respects. In some respects, it doesn't. One way is that it's no longer an entry-level game. Clue is something that even children could play. I do not feel that's the case with Mystery Express. I think Mystery Express is definitely something that would be a jumping-off point. Well, if you like Clue, but adults wanted something a little bit more, I think Mystery Express would go to. I would not play Clue with the same people that I'd play Mystery Express with. So if I was sitting around with 4 or 5 adults and I wanted to play a deduction game, perhaps I would play Mystery Express and not Clue. But if I was with children, I would definitely play Clue over that. Now, the reason why I decided to think about this was somebody wanted and was searching out for a copy of Mystery Express, and I had one in my closet just collecting dust. I said, you know what? This person could actually play this game. And that's what first got me going down this rabbit hole. Now, one of the things I don't like about Mystery Express a lot is the time mechanism, where you're just flipping those cards over and over and over again. So the person flipping the cards has an advantage and a disadvantage. One, I just don't like it. I don't want to look at something as quickly as possible. What I think is an advantage for the flipper is that they can see the cards at their own speed that they want. So if they want to go faster or slower, they have control over that. Now, the disadvantage that they do have, is the fact that they're doing two things at once. They're flipping over the cards and looking at them. And that can be a disadvantage just the way the brain works. The brain is not as efficient when you're multitasking. I also feel like this game is a little hard to teach. There's a few things going on. It's not that anything is overly complicated, but you're constantly discarding cards, picking them up, moving them around, and that can just be very hard for people to pick up on. I feel like the game has a larger learning curve than Clue does. So I don't necessarily think this is going to replace Clue. For some people, that's trying to hit that sweet spot. But if you played Clue and you want something more, then this could be it. Now, I think the competition for gaming is a lot different than it was perhaps when this game was released. I think the competition for gaming, in particular in this genre, has improved a lot. For example, I'd much rather play Mysterium than this. I understand the mechanisms are different, but it's still a deduction game where you're trying to figure out who killed and those kind of aspects that you're trying to figure out with different mechanisms. But this game has different mechanisms than Clue, so comparing this to Clue is the same as comparing Mysterium, and I'd rather play that. Your mileage may vary, but I would rather play that game instead. Now, for children, I feel like the game Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, the 2017 version, is a really fun version that's better than Clue. I think that replaces it in the family genre, especially for younger children. But with that game, you do need to know how to read. But with this one, I feel like it's a little bit more convoluted and complicated. At the end of the day, when I reviewed this game back in 2017, I felt like Mystery Express was a good game, but it has flaws. At the time, I was thinking at some point something would come along and knock this out of its spot, and I feel like that has happened. I feel like this is no longer the best game of its genre. That doesn't mean it's a bad game. In fact, Mystery Express is a quite good game. But the problem is going to be the fact that I feel like there are better options for me in my collection that I enjoy playing rather than keep this. To be honest, I would use this more as a gateway game. When people say, hey, I like Clue, well, let's try this game out. But now I have better options. I would instantly just go to Mysterium. It's a game I've enjoyed a lot, and not so much this one. So this one I'm going to go ahead and purge, and I've changed my mind on it. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel, lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing games.